Welcome everyone. I'm in Southern California today, all around the greater Los Angeles area, and I thought we would check out the graves of the Three Stooges.
Hello. 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 Hello.
But in fact, there were actually 6 people who played the characters of the Three Stooges. Moe, Larry, Curly, Shemp, Curly Joe, and Joe Besser. So let's go venture around, go to a multiple amount of graveyards, and pay our respects to the comedy legends, the Three Stooges. Join me, shall you? My first stop was Hillside Memorial Park. Moe was the leader and always my favorite.
Why don't you get a toupee with some brains in it?
Larry Fine was laid to rest next to his wife and next to his son on the bottom floor of the Freedom Mausoleum, one of the 2 Stooges that were buried here in Glendale at Forest Lawn Cemetery.
Leave him alone. Quiet.
Jerome Howard. To you and I, Curly, the fan favorite of most people when they think of the Three Stooges.
Certainly.
Curly was actually Shemp and Moe's younger brother. Shemp originally started in the Three Stooges and then decided to go do other things. And Jerome Howard, his younger brother, became Curly. You can see there's a little bit of activity behind me at the mausoleum where Shemp is buried. I'm actually not allowed inside because they are filming some sort of a Hollywood movie TV show, and we are not allowed to get too close. So I'm just going to throw some pictures in of what the gravesite of Shemp looks like.
Why, you numbskull.
Also at the Forest Lawn in Glendale is the 5th of the Three Stooges. In fact, it's right outside the Freedom Mausoleum where Larry is laid to rest. Joe Besser, who took the place of Shemp, only was in the Three Stooges for 2 years, I believe, and his final resting place is next to his wife. Some interesting facts about Joe Besser. He actually had a clause in his contract. He was not allowed to be slapped or hit as hard as the previous Three Stooges were. In fact, Larry decided to take the brunt of the abuse from Moe following the passing of Shemp. When Joe joined the Three Stooges, the whole dynamic changed for a couple years. Joe was also the highest paid of the Three Stooges, surpassing Moe, surpassing Larry, even though he joined later in the series, in the career of the Three Stooges, because they were so desperate for an actor. He still had contractual obligations with the studios and with the TV companies, so made him, at the time, the highest paid of the Three Stooges. We've arrived at Pierce Brothers Memorial Park. This is the final resting place of Curly Joe DeRita, who was actually the second Curly of the Three Stooges. His name was Joe, and they just added the Curly in front of it, affectionately known as the last Stooge. Also, the very last of the three Stooges to actually pass on.
Oh, you too, eh?
No,
I'm going to have trouble with you. Well, let me give you a little advice.
What?
That